Applied Behavior Analysis-Based Interventions in Autism, a research proposal. The prevalence of autism in the United States has been steadily rising. Approximately 1 in every 40 children aged 8 and under is diagnosed with autism. Studies have indicated that boys are diagnosed more often than girls. Autism spectrum disorder is categorized as a neurodevelopmental disorder in the 5th edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual. Children diagnosed with autism may encounter many challenges. Autism is characterized by deficits in social communication and social interactions. These interactions may involve both verbal and nonverbal exchanges, as well as developmental skills related to forming and understanding relationships. Some social challenges a child with autism may face include difficulties understanding others' emotions and intentions, sustaining eye contact, and interpreting facial expressions and body language. There are various strategies and interventions to enhance the skills of individuals with autism, and this proposal focuses specifically on applied behavior analysis. Applied behavior analysis, or ABA, is a discipline rooted in the foundational work of B.F. Skinner. In his work, Skinner distinguished between two types of behavior: respondent, or automatic behavior, and operant, which is a conditioned behavior. The techniques used by ABA professionals were built on Skinner's principles. ABA has earned recognition as a robust, evidence-based intervention supported by extensive research. ABA interventions concentrate on determining the underlying processes and environmental factors that contribute to the development and maintenance of a behavior. The Behavior Analyst Certification Board, the BACB, was created to ensure that individuals receiving ABA-based interventions are protected. The board established a hierarchy of practitioners with certified behavior analysts at the top, followed by registered behavior technicians and behavior technicians. Multiple strategies may be used during an ABA session. These strategies may include discrete trial training, or DTT, the Picture Exchange Communication System, PECS, augmentative or alternative AAC devices, social skills training, and the PREMAC principle. Sessions are tailored to the individual needs of one with autism and may not utilize all ABA-based methodologies. The research. Bondi and Zahoriddin investigated the effectiveness of ABA-based interventions. Their research involved 240 teachers, 10 parents, and approximately 2,650 students from centers serving students with special needs. The researchers used a mixed method approach and collected data through surveys and interviews. The research findings indicated that ABA-based strategies positively impacted students with autism. However, Bondi and Zahoriddin acknowledged some limitations to their study, which included the results not being generalizable to the overall population of individuals with autism. In a meta-analysis conducted by Sulu et al., 43 studies were reviewed and based on ABA interventions involving 127 participants from Turkey. Sulu et al.'s study focused primarily on children with autism in educational environments and adults with other developmental disabilities who did not have autism. Their analysis revealed a considerable tau effect, demonstrating a positive influence of ABA interventions on individuals with autism. Sulu et al. Noted several limitations of this study. Firstly, the research was limited to Turkish studies and participants within the educational framework, which may hinder the applicability of the results to other contexts. Additionally, the study primarily focused on adults without autism and included only a small number of adolescents with autism, which could further restrict the relevance of the findings. ABA methodologies. A thorough analysis of research on specific techniques used in ABA indicates that several methods are more prevalent in the field than others. Among these commonly employed techniques are discrete trial training, DTT, social skills training, functional communication training, FCT, and the PREMAC principle. DTT breaks skills into small, manageable components and teaches them in structured sessions. Social skills training is designed to enhance interpersonal interactions and communication. FCT focuses on improving verbal and nonverbal communication. FCT is used to teach multiple ways of communication and may utilize the Picture Exchange Communication System, PECS, or an Augmentative Alternative Communication, AAC, device. The PECS is a widely used system that helps individuals express their needs and thoughts using visual images, while AAC devices are tablets equipped with programs that vocalize selected images. The PREMAC principle, also known as a first-then contingency, is a behavioral strategy that reinforces desired behaviors by linking them to highly preferred activities. First, Billy does this, then he can have access to this. First, let's look at DTT. Ali and Fazil investigated the effectiveness of DTT in enhancing communication skills. Their study employed a meticulously designed single-subject experimental design featuring 4 distinct treatment phases and 2 follow-up periods. The focus was on a 16-year-old girl with minimal verbal abilities. Researchers completed 10 baseline sessions that conducted DTT sessions. The results demonstrated significant advancements in her social initiations and responses, emphasizing DTT's potential as a transformative tool. Dagwami et al. Explored the impact of teacher-mediated DTT on children's communication skills with autism. The researchers utilized an A-B-A-B design divided in 4 distinct phases and focused on a small group of 3 children and their respective teachers. The findings revealed remarkable progress in children's communication abilities. However, the results may not generalize to the overall population of individuals with autism due to the small sample size. This study may not be replicable because the researchers failed to include pertinent information in their methodology. Social skills training. Yezangall carried out a pre-post equivalent group experimental design. Participants were divided into an experimental group and a control group. The results after the intervention indicated that both groups showed improvement, but the experimental group achieved a higher average scores in overall social skills, participation, and reciprocity. The experimental group also exhibited a reduction in maladaptive social behaviors. Yezangall acknowledged several limitations, including a brief intervention duration, a small sample size that may limit generalizability, and a restricted data collection approach that relied solely on quantitative data collected via using a rating scale. Ma et al. Explored the Theory of Mind Social Skills intervention program designed to improve social communication and interaction abilities in 3 adolescents with autism. The researchers highlighted the crucial role of developing a theory of mind, noting that this development is often delayed in children with autism, and that there appears to be a relationship between theory of mind capabilities and social communication. Ma et al. Used a multiple baseline across behavior design, and social skills training was delivered through DTT sessions. Researchers noted limitations such as small sample size and controlled settings, which may affect the generalizability. FCT, PECS, and AAC devices. Zohorian et al. Investigated the use of the PECS to teach English to children with autism. Their study involved 2 male participants aged 9 and 12 and employed an A-B single-subject design across 15 treatment sessions. The participants were taught through 6 distinct phases. Data were collected using repeated measure design, and all sessions were recorded. The initial baseline data indicated that the participants were unable to answer any questions correctly. The results showed that during the intervention phase, vocabulary acquisition improved significantly. Although the results were significant, the study had limitations, which included a small sample size and challenges that were noted by the researchers when the teachers tried to deliver training using the PECS. Aftab et al. Conducted a meta-analysis to explore the impact of AAC devices on communication of children with autism, comparing high and low-tech devices. While the researchers considered low-tech options such as PEGs, they chose to focus only on high-tech options. The researchers reviewed 8 studies with 88 minimally verbal participants under 13. The results showed significant improvements in speech production and social interactions over 3 to 6 months across various settings. However, the study had limitations, such as unclear pretreatment assessments, and the researchers also noted that it was hard to find the studies that fit the parameters of their subject matter, which reduced the strength of the evidence. The PREMAC principle. Perrott et al. Carried out a retrospective literature review focusing on the application of the Premack principle. The studies considered involved participants aged between 3 and 60 who had diagnoses of autism, schizophrenia, or an intellectual disability, and were divided into two categories: those with evidence of response probability and those without evidence of response probability. The researchers evaluated 61 experiments from 52 studies. The majority of the studies indicated a positive relationship between high response rates and the use of the Premack principle. However, the researchers noted limitations, such as a lack of consistent high-quality evidence across the studies. Perrott et al. Also found that 54% of the studies examined did not provide evidence of participants' response probability prior to the intervention, and many lacked empirical data. Problem and purpose. Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder affecting 1 in 44 children under 8, impacting social interactions, communication, and behavior. Early intervention is crucial for improving social skills. Applied behavior analysis is a recognized evidence-based approach for addressing these challenges, but current research lacks consistent evidence on the long-term effectiveness of ABA interventions. This study aims to investigate the long-term outcomes of various ABA methods for individuals with autism, providing insights into their effectiveness and informing potential modifications to current practices. Methodology. This study seeks to answer 4 research questions. What are the long-term effects of DTT on communication and social interactions? How effective is social skills training in promoting sustained improvements in social interactions over an extended period of time? What are the long-term outcomes associated with the use of the Premack principle in behavior modification? And how does the use of PECs and AAC devices impact long-term social interaction deficits? Variables and hypotheses. These are the variables and hypotheses that this study will examine. Participants and procedure. Participants will be recruited from local ABA clinics and schools via email invitations sent to parents who will provide written consent to join the study. A total of 20 participants ages 3 to 12 with formal diagnoses of autism spectrum disorder will be selected. They will undergo an initial assessment followed by additional evaluations. Participants will be randomly assigned to an intervention group and a control group. Familiar BCBAs or school equivalents will conduct assessments, while professionals or paraprofessionals will perform interventions. Behavioral changes will be evaluated using the VB-MAP or the ABLES-R, with progress assessed at baseline, 3, 6, and 9 months. Data analysis will be conducted in SPSS, including a descriptive statistics and MANOVA. Limitations. This research design has several limitations, including a potentially insufficient sample size for statistical significance and participant homogeneity that may limit generalizability. Confounding variables could arise among participants receiving ABA interventions, and the differences in the administration of these interventions may impact outcomes. Additionally, varying manifestations of autism and participants' abilities can significantly affect findings. Key concerns include sampling bias, environmental influences, and attrition rates. In conclusion, children with autism spectrum disorder face challenges in social communication, making the teachings of these skills crucial for language development and peer acceptance. Autism is more commonly diagnosed in males, and symptoms can differ widely among individuals. Applied behavior analysis ABA based on B.F. Skinner's principles are a key framework for managing behavior through reinforcement. However, research on ABA often has limitations, such as a small sample size and inconsistent evidence on the long-term effects of techniques like discrete trial training and the picture exchange communication system. This study aims to explore the long-term outcomes and effectiveness of various ABA methods in addressing the social, behavioral, and communication deficits in individuals with autism. It seeks to provide insights into the lasting impact of these interventions and whether they should be maintained, modified, or improved. However, potential challenges include small sample size, limited participant diversity, and confounding variables that could affect the results, such as environmental influences and differences in autism severity. References. Thank you for watching my presentation.